Welcome back to Booking Through Life. I'm Mary and happy Victober. Today we're going to chat about my October TBR, and you might be saying, wait, didn't you just do Victober TBR? Well, yes, but this is part two, and I separated my Victober from two other challenges that I'm currently working through. And I thought I would just talk about those challenges today. So I'm just calling this my October TBR. And there's going to be some crossover with Victober, so it'll be all right. So here's my stack of books. Isn't this beautiful? Very excited. I added some more Victober, and then I have my October books. So let's chat books. The first thing I want to talk about is the Moore Montgomery Challenge. And apparently there was a group on BookTube who were reading through L.M. Montgomery's Anne of Green Gables series. I did not know about that, but coincidentally, I had found the whole set of Anne of Green Gables series at a thrift store and thought, hey, you know what? I have never read these books. I watched the adaptation. I love I hope I'm saying her name right, Megan follows as Anne, and I don't know who played Gilbert, but he was such a cutie patootie, and I loved those, and I had just never read the books. So I read the first book that must have been August. And then I heard about the Moore Montgomery Challenge, and I thought, oh, this is perfect. So I guess the group that was reading, or some of the people who were reading the Anne of Green Gables, had decided they wanted to read more L.M. Montgomery. So the hosts are Elizabeth from Lizzie Fay Loves Books and Mitzi Reads and Writes, and they decided let's keep doing this. Let's read more Montgomery. So they decided to make this a fall challenge. So it runs all through September, all through October, and all through November. So if you haven't heard about this challenge and you want to jump on the bandwagon, come along, and you can start now. There's no time like the present. And I will link not only their YouTube channel, but I'll try to up my game and actually link the announcement video for the Moore Montgomery Challenge. Let's hope that I can do it. So anyway, Mitzi from Mitzi Reads and Writes had made this bingo card, this bingo board with all the different prompts for the challenge. And so I printed it out, and as you can see, I do things low tech quite a bit. For one reason, I love paper. And anytime I can have a piece of paper in my hand, I can use up the paper that I have, and I can print out like cute little book covers. I said that kind of loud. That makes me happy. So I've got this low tech bingo board, and it's quite nice because there's 3 months and there's 3 rows or 3 columns. So I just decided to do a column, not a column, a row a month. And so I will talk about these in my next video because that will be my September wrap-up video. But today I'm going to talk about how I'm moving forward in October, and I'm starting this row here. So the first square says a standalone novel. And I was going to look up, it might be right here, how many novels she has. Here we go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She has 8 standalone novels. And the one I chose, and I chose it because of the book cover, is called Jane of Lantern Hill. And look at that beautiful cover. Isn't that gorgeous? The illustrator is Daniela Jaglenko Terrazini, and I highly recommend looking her up Google her and look her up and see some of her other work. It's gorgeous. She does some gorgeous work. And I can't remember if it's her. I think it is her. she has a coloring book. So you can get some of her work and then you can color it in yourself. I thought that was awesome. And this is the publishing company is called Virago, and it looks like from the back, it looks like maybe they're doing all of her books. I'm not sure, but it would be really tempting to buy them all because, man, that's gorgeous. And it looks like it'll be a quick, easy read. It's about a girl named Jane. She lives with her mom, and they're staying with her overbearing grandmother. Jane believes her father has passed away, and she finds out he's alive. And then she goes and visits him. So that's all I know about that. So I'm excited to read that. The next prompt is watch any non-Anne adaptation. I'd like to buy Lantern Hill. I don't currently have it at the moment, but it looked like it has Colleen Dewhurst, who played Marilla, and it has Sam Watterson, so it might be good. But what I did do is I bought Emily of New Moon, the series, the complete first season. And so I read Emily of New Moon last month, and so I really wanted to watch this adaptation and see how that is. I'll let you know. And then the next prompt is to read a short story collection, and I decided to go with a spooky gothic October theme. So, and she had a book that fit that, and it's called Among the Shadows, and it has some short stories, and I'll kind of just be dipping in and out through October, and I don't know if I'll read all of them, but I'll at least read some of them. So I'm excited about that. So that's the L.M. Montgomery challenge. The other challenge that I'm also involved with, and it also runs all of September, all of October, and all of November, and it's called Fall Into Reading Challenge. And it's hosted by Kelly from Cozy Reader Kelly, and then I believe it's Angie at Literary Labors and Rainey at Rainy Day Reads, and I will link them below as well. And they are just challenging people to read different genres during the fall. It may be genres that you have not read before or that you don't read very often, to maybe get you out of your reading rut, or I don't think they said that, I'm saying that, or to introduce to you different genres that maybe you don't normally try. So I've been having a good time with that. They also have a bingo board, and as you can see, I'm kind of ahead of the game here. So, which is good because I have a lot to read in this month. So I'm going to just try to do these, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, which is still 4. So I could probably even just do these. But I will say that some of my Victober crosses over into those. So what my plans are is I was going to just do a column, but things got a little wacky and in a good way. So let's start off here. Orange. This says orange on the cover. So that's just kind of a maybe a fall fun type theme thing. But it doesn't have to necessarily be a fall book. So I found this book. I went, I did what I should not do. I stepped into a bookstore and was looking around, and I found this beautiful copy of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, and it just was too gorgeous to turn down, and so I picked it up, and it has orange on the cover. So it's going to satisfy the orange on the cover. It's also Victorian. And let me just tell you about this book itself. Most of you are probably familiar with the story of Alice in Wonderland, so I'm not going to go over the plot. But this book is a Penguin Classic Deluxe Edition, and it feels like butter. It's just so so soft and smooth, and it feels very yummy and cozy, and it's just wonderful. And the illustrations are just as madcapped as The Adventures of Alice, and they're just fabulous. And the illustrator is Bakea, and his full name is Juan Carlos Paz, but he goes by Bakea. And he has some illustrations. He's an illustrator and art director from Madrid. And I highly recommend checking these artists out and seeing all their great artwork. And he has very colorful artwork, and it's not all as fantasy-like and kind of funny as these are. But anyway, so moving on back to the book. The title has a raised surface, so you can feel the title, which is quite nice. It has deckled edges. I think you can see that. And I love deckled edges. It also has what I believe is called a French fold on the cover, which has this extra little fold right here. It's also called a gatefold. And so that makes it even extra special. It has more illustrations on the inside, and I didn't look to see if I don't think the illustrations are by the same guy. I didn't look to see. Oh, here we go. John Tenniel, 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 Captain and Tenniel. I don't know. Anyway, I haven't looked him up yet, but his illustrations are fabulous. And the book just has all kinds of little yummy things that you might like, little asterisks to separate, some paragraphs, and even at the end of a chapter, it has, I'm going to call it a playbill. If somebody knows what this is called, I don't know, but it's beautiful. I think I want to photocopy it and make it into a bookmark. And anyway, it's just absolutely, everything about this is just absolutely precious or darling. Anyway, I love it. Moving along, enough about that book. The next prompt is to read a classic, and I'm just calling my Anthony Trollope book for Victober my classic. I could use almost any of the Victober books for the classic. For leaves on the cover, oh, I don't have that book here with me. But I could consider Leaves on the Cover, Among the Shadows, or L.M. Montgomery. I could even save that for next month. We'll see. And then this one over here is short story. The L.M. Montgomery was a short story. Cranford is my Victober short story. But I also found this at the used bookstore. Oscar Wilde, who's Victorian, short stories for children, illustrated by P.J. Lynch. Again, oh my gosh, his illustrations are just absolutely gorgeous, and they're in through the book, and it's just 6 short stories. I've already read one, and it was really great. It had a surprise ending that I absolutely found delightful, and I will dip in and out of this throughout October. So excited about that one. And then finally, the last book that I'm trying to read during the month of October is Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. And the Fall Into Reading Challenge group, they're doing a group read with this. And they're also having discussion on Instagram. And you can join that discussion by contacting one of the, contacting one of the hosts, and they'll put you on that Instagram group if you would like to read along and discuss. And so that's it. I'm right at 15 minutes. I think it's going to be 16 by the time I'm done. I think that's a pretty good place to stop. I did have one thing that I wanted to do. I'm trying to up my skills, and I think I figured out how to make the magical floating book. So I got this Hermione's wand to help me, and I'm going to say some what I hope to be magic words, and I hope I will have a magically floating book right here. Let's see what happens. Liber Supernate. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Thank you for putting up with my silliness. I hope you are having a fabulous Victober so far. I hope all of your books are good books. Until next time, I'll see you later. Goodbye.